Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and always. Today we got a great show for y'all, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So what happened? 48 hours ago, you had some people talking about the Lakers are going to win the championship. One of those people, notably, in Shannon Sharpe. Now, I haven't really given a strong position on this Lakers team because I don't know. I don't have enough of a sample size in terms of how Luka and LeBron would mesh. In the case of AD, it was a little bit more straightforward. He wasn't filling in any redundant role on the team. He's going to be playing power forward. He's not a ball handler. His role doesn't interfere with what Kyrie Irving is doing or any Klay Thompson and any of those other guys are doing. And when you saw him make his debut game, he was having a monster game, and I don't think he affected anyone else's numbers. And they were a great defensive team. So we saw that. So it was easy to kind of make an analysis about that team. The Lakers has been a little bit different, right? Difficult, excuse me. But that hasn't stopped a lot of people from jumping out the window as they normally do. Right, because some of these dudes don't be buying parachutes; they just be jumping out the window, ready to sail away, fly into the sunset. Right, and that's what some of them have been doing. So yesterday they ended up playing against one of the worst teams in the NBA, third worst team in the NBA, in the Utah Jazz, who they had just recently beaten a few days ago by I think 130 or whatever it is, and the Lakers went up there and gave up 131 points on the road to the Utah Jazz. Right. In the immediate aftermath of that, people started switching up. Oh, man, I don't know anymore. Maybe the Lakers can't win. I don't know. Bro, I thought, the honey, I don't know. It ran out, whatever. They turned off the music. I stopped twerking. But prior to that, early in the day, they had Brian Windhorst on the show. Now, on Get Up. Now, if you know anything about Brian Windhorst, he's a LeBron supporter. But at certain points, he seems to be very objective about some of the points that he makes on television. So they were talking about the ceiling for the Lakers and how far they think the Lakers can go. And usually what people do at ESPN is twerk it up all over the table, pour honey all over each other, holler and scream, be shaking all over the place, knocking over cups, just making all kinds of, just disturbing the peace, running through the woods, fighting bears for honey, just all kind of crazy stuff. But then when it came time from Brian Windhorst to give his analysis, he gave an absolutely brutal analysis on the Lakers, and some of these dudes got mad at him and started getting at him online. So what we want to do is we want to play some of what Brian Windhorst had to say about how far he thinks this Lakers team could go, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Brian here.
Windman, your face spoke 1,000 words. What is your Monica?
Okay.
Windman, what are your thoughts here?
The Thunder disrespect is really amazing, and it's not just Shannon. I hear it every day from people in the league. This team is 43-9. Their average margin of victory is 13 points a game. It's one of the largest in the history of the league. They have 35 wins by 10 points or more. They are going to be starting two guys who are super skilled, over 7 feet tall, against the Lakers, who are playing without a proper starting center. I respect that Luka and LeBron can do some special things. I just do not respect the take that you could pick them over the Thunder in a playoff series.
I'm with you, but even before next year, I'm floored at some of the things that have come up on our screen. I want to be clear. You're seeing ESPN analytics. Only the Thunder have a better chance to make the Western Conference Finals. And we had a graphic a moment ago that said the Lakers have the second best chance, according to our analytics, to make it to the NBA Finals from the West, behind only Oklahoma City. To be clear, there's the graphic I'm talking about.
The computer doesn't have to defend Nikola Jokic.
Well, I understand that, but
talk to him, Wendy.
but Wendy, what I'm saying is, like last week when we were all making fun of the odds have a lot to do. Vegas has a lot to do with what people are going to bet on. These are computers. These are emotionless. They're not being swayed by the fact that they would like to see LeBron and Luka make a deep run. Our analytics suggest they have the second best shot in the West. That means something to me, Wendy. How about you?
Well, when it comes to odds in the Lakers, there's almost never a good bet that you can make odds-wise on the Lakers because the sports books take advantage of the irrational Laker fan.
Right.
And I actually can't even blame the irrational Laker fan because irrational Laker fans get players like Luka Doncic and Anthony Davis and LeBron James falling out of the sky to them. So I'll let them be irrational, but I will disregard sports books who have to balance out the irrational Laker fans' wagering. This ESPN analytics, it is an interesting number. I just have to point out that the matchup advantages with certain teams are going to have, I think it's going to be hard for the Lakers to overcome it. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you I know for sure. I don't know exactly for sure how these Lakers are going to play. And the way J.J. Redick wants to play is interesting. I'd like to see it actually play out in practice before I back it. But I'd like to see, how he's going to lean into this.
So you heard what Brian Windhorst had to say. Now, what's the interesting thing about all of this was I actually found out about these comments via an Awful Announcing article that I read, which ultimately linked me to a video that they posted on their Twitter. People were getting upset with him because he kept it funky. And what it seems like to me is this. The reason why Brian Windhorst doesn't make as much news as some of the other people that we have at ESPN is because Brian Windhorst, for the most part, isn't a hot take artist. And whenever you're not a hot take artist, whenever you don't go out there and say crazy things, you're not going to make headlines the way some of the other guys do by going out there and say, and it's not just on ESPN, that's just the way it is. I mean, a lot of people be saying stuff for the shock value of it. Oh, if I say this, it's going to land that way, and people going to feel. A lot of people do that, and they make a career out of just basically going out there and just saying crazy things to get clicks and views or whatever. A lot of people do that. Like, when I say Jordan is better than LeBron, that's not you're not clickbaiting anybody. When you say the inverse, you're clickbaiting people, right? But nevertheless, Brian doesn't make a lot of news. So for him to make news, for having for having an honest opinion, it shows you just how much honey is just pouring through the hallways of ESPN. All Brian is saying is that, look, one acquisition and one game doesn't change the entire landscape of the West and what we've seen prior to this point. Because if that's the case, then why even play the games? What do these records even mean? Because if you're telling me that the Oklahoma City Thunder, who've been arguably the best team in the NBA, certainly the best team in the Western Conference all season long, and their record proves it, if you're saying that, well, their record doesn't matter, then why does anything that anything that happens on a night in, night out basis, why does that matter? Why does that win against the Jazz 2 days ago matter at all? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, the records don't matter because you're saying what OKC did doesn't matter. And Brian is like, no, some of our opinions need to be rooted in some type of reasoning and logic and evidence. And they don't want to hear that. This same thing about, they're going to go. This is what they said, 3 years ago when they got Russell Westbrook. They said the Lakers got the number 1 odds to make it out of the West and the number 2 odds to win the championship. This was after they landed Russell Westbrook in the offseason. I remember. We all were here. So Brian is like, no, I'm not willing to go this far. I'm not willing to pour this much honey on myself. I refuse to twerk with you guys. Get the hell off of me. Get the hell off of me. So it's going to be an interesting second half of the season going into the playoffs and some of the crazy things people are going to be saying. Right? Now, I kept it a buck from the start. I came this close to room for the Lakers. I'm not doing it until LeBron leaves the team. It's that simple. For whatever reason, this is complicated for some people to understand. I'm not doing it. I know that surprises you that I'm not up here twerking it up for LeBron the way you do. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I don't know why y'all be expecting me. Ain't gonna be no balance. The same way there was no balance when he was going at Russell Westbrook and they blamed that entire season on Russell Westbrook. The same way you ain't gonna get no. So don't look for no balance from me. Don't look for no balance from me. Go to the next dude and look for balance. Don't look for it from me because you're not getting it. I have a position and I've given you the reasons why. Don't ask me to be fair and balanced about it. I ain't doing it. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.